In today's Talk to Cindy, following the demise of former Ravens cheerleader Molly Shattuck, who is accused of having sex with a 15-year-old boy, a new term is now trending. It's called Schadenfreude, and is a play off the word Schadenfreude, which is used to describe shameful joy in others' pain. So what does this idea have to say about human nature in general? And joining us now to break it all down is Cindy Crane, a clinical social worker with Crane Counseling. Good morning, Cindy.
Good morning, Annie.
So this definitely became the new buzz term on social media. We saw it on articles everywhere, headlines. What is this all about?
Well, Schadenfreude is part of human nature, and the playoff.
That's the real term.
The playoff of
Yes.
Shattuckfreude is a play on the Schadenfreude idea of finding pleasure in somebody else's misfortune. And so as we saw sort of her unraveling in this terrible situation with her, it's an example of a type of social comparison, really, where we know it's shameful, but we somehow find, some of us, joy in other people's misfortune.
Right, and because of this buzz that was created around this, what does it have to say about just human culture in general? You know, why do people get such a rise out of others' misfortunes?
Yeah, you know, it sounds awful, but there sort of is some sense in it, in that evolutionarily, it's sort of a comparison, usually with somebody who's in a better state than we are. It is that we are envious of, so we want to watch them. Or sometimes it's a comparison to somebody who's not doing as well as we are, and we say, oh, okay, at least we're in a better spot. But mostly it's looking at other people who are in a better position, and we oddly find joy in seeing them fail.
Mm-hmm. And we're talking about people we may not even personally know. I mean, just high-profile names in the media, celebrities.
Yeah, where we see this is, for example, when a CEO gets sacked, or when somebody's running for the elevator door and they don't make it and their arms are full of...
See, I mean, when you bring that example up, I'm the type of person that will go for that button and keep it open. So it's not everybody that would fall into this term, right?
No. And I do think that there is, the key piece to this is there's a shame piece to it. It's not, we've been raised to think this is not nice to do.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a primal secret emotion that some of us have. And I think it's sort of evolution of survival of the fittest kind of thing. We also see it with sort of like a Hollywood ingenue, you know, fails in public, you know, is falling down with drug problems.
Is it a behavior that can ever be reversed and to think, you know, in a more positive way?
Sure. I think, first of all, it's important to know that the term Schadenfreude, which, by the way, is a German term, doesn't even have an English equivalent. We really do think that this is wrong, but it's sort of a primal emotion. It's when it comes up, recognize it. Are you getting anything out of rubbernecking watching this person on the side of the road have, you know, a terrible accident?
Right.
And recognize what is your gain in that. And try to think more positively about other people.
Okay. So we have to force ourselves to stop and think, is this right? Should we be, you know, laughing or getting a rise out of someone's misfortune? Excuse me, that was my nook over there. But yeah, you have to stop and think about it.
Right, and I think as for the term Schadenfreude, it's an interesting one to be aware of because it is a primal emotion that exists, but we don't have to give into it. We also have higher thinking, and we can overcome some of those negative thoughts.
Yes, we will not give into it. All right, well, thank you so much. Always good stuff, as always. Now, if you have a question for Cindy, you can tweet her at Crane Counseling using the hashtag #TalkToCindy, and we may even feature some of your questions on the air, so don't hesitate to hit her up, and we'll share those during a later segment. Thank you so much, Cindy.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this break.